Guys, are we going to do this? We're going to do this thing. Gillian, we're going to do this thing. Are we going to do this? It's a podcast called Movers and Shakers, and it's about to happen. The magic is about to happen. Okay. Hello and welcome to Movers and Shakers. I'm Rory Kathleen Jones, and we're back in the pub for our final episode of 2024. Let's see who's turned up.
Nicholas Mostyn,
Paul Mayhew Archer,
Mark Mordell,
Gillian Lacey Solomar.
And Jeremy Paxman sends his apologies. He's got a gammy leg, poor old Jeremy, and can't make it today, but he'll be back soon. Now, this was always meant to be a mailbag edition where we read out some of your messages, and we're still going to do that. But Gillian and I were discussing things the other day, and we came to the conclusion that above all, we needed to end the year on a more cheerful note.
We have been a bit grim recently, don't you think? I mean, we've been talking about end of life, we've been talking about assisted dying. It's not very cheerful topics. So we thought, how about a cheer you up episode?
Yeah, then there was the failure, wasn't there, after 16 years of that drug, exenatide, that was supposed to be the first to modify the disease rather than just mask the symptoms.
Yeah, that's a bit grim, that one.
That was all a bit grim. But then I got an email from Anne Oxborough, a huge fan of the podcast. Here's what she had to say. Maybe I'm in a naive place at the moment, but it seems to me that some people's reactions to my news are barely disguised horror, fed by slightly old-fashioned facts/ignorance. Though it's bad news, there are surely much worse things. So I'm just wondering if you can point me in the direction of some hopeful stuff on Parkinson's.
What's the right reaction, do you think, then? If somebody's died and tells you they've got Parkinson's, what reaction would you like?
Well, I suppose you want to say, I'm sorry, but move on, really, you know.
Yeah, I think my ideal reaction of people is, I'm sorry, that's a bit shit.
I love this. Gillian is having a cup brought.
Yes, Gillian is demonstrating
shaky.
a tremor with a china cup of tea being brought towards her. It's a perfect demonstration. This is live Parkinson's.
Indeed it is, yes.
I mean, there isn't really a hierarchy of shit conditions, or maybe there is a hierarchy.
There is a
I
hierarchy.
think
of
there
shit
is,
conditions,
yeah.
yes.
Cancer beats everything.
Yeah, and you know,
Yeah.
in the neuro field, I mean, we are probably one of the less bad ones. I mean, compared to Huntington's and
Yeah.
things of that.
If
Thank
it's a
God I've got
parent-
Parkinson's.
Thank God I got Parkinson's.
Yeah.
If I had to be given one, I wouldn't want motor neuron disease, for example.
How about we go around the table to see what's making the Movers and Shakers cheerful or not at the moment? Judge Sir Nicholas Mostyn.
I am generally a very cheerful person. In fact, I'm often being criticised for not having taken the condition that I've got more seriously. People say, surely you should be more upset. Surely you should be more gloomy about the fact, because you seem to be relentlessly positive with, you know, Mr. Justice Pollyanna as my nickname. So maybe one should take it more seriously. But I find...
And I've thought for quite some time that you don't really have Parkinson's because I see no sign of it.
That's because I'm very well medically cared for, as you know. But
You're a
no, I have.
perfect
I'm twitching. I'm twitching in harmony with you as we
Yes,
speak.
I'm twitching
actually,
furiously at the moment.
No reason. I mean, I am generally positive, and as we move through this particular edition, we're going to be meeting people who will not be conquered by their condition, which is
Excellent.
what I thoroughly approve of.
Yeah.
The
Paul.
Invictus team, you might call it.
Yes, well, I have a very good reason to be cheerful today because this morning I was tweaked. My DBS was tweaked by a wonderful woman called Claire, who put me onto the computer, and she adjusted my milliseconds or microseconds or whatever it is of pulsing of my DBS, my things in my head. And then, because I hadn't taken any pills since last night in order to be off my pills, and she then switched my DBS off as well. And I could barely move. And I realised that it was the pills and the DBS that are keeping me going. But the fact that they exist and that I can have access to them and they can work for me is just fantastic. It's just amazing. So I count my lucky stars, and I think it's absolutely brilliant.
And you do seem brighter today.
Yeah.
I feel brighter.
You do
I feel,
look a lot more perky.
I feel energised.
Unshaven, hippie.
Yes,
look
I know,
about-
yes.
They didn't tweak your razor, did they?
They didn't tweak my razor at all.
Mark, you're looking quite dapper.
Oh, thank you. I've lost my razor, which doesn't make me cheerful, but still.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're growing into that facial hair.
I think so, yeah.
It's not a Movember thing, is it?
No, definitely
No,
not.
no, it's been there from the
No,
start.
It's been there
Yeah.
for a long while. No, I mean I'm generally cheerful as well, and I just want to seize as much of life while it's still there. Really enjoy things. But I think my recent discovery is how much I enjoy working, which is a bit sad, really. But I've just started this on a gloomy subject of the assisted dying for.
But
prospect.
you seem invigorated by it. It's
I
interesting.
do. I love it. I've been writing about 1,000 words a day.
Do you have a background in journalism, Romain?
Yeah.
Maybe. I think I might try it.
Well,
out
your
before
output
everything
is
else
excellent, if I might say so.
Oh, thank
And
you
if
very
I
much.
might
Really
add,
is,
yes.
really good
God, this
stuff.
is turning into a loving.
Yes,
Gillian,
it
Yeah,
is.
it is. There's a lot of love around this
Well,
table.
that makes me cheerful as well. I love being loved.
Gillian, you've always been our seize the day person.
Yes, I've been doing lots of seizing the day.
You're the carpe queen.
The carpet. Oh, isn't that nice? Rather than the carpet queen. I do have to make a confession, which is that when it is bad, I'm the carpet queen. I'm crawling around on the carpet, but we won't talk about that. We will talk about the happier side of things. My happy things all begin with P, and there's not much prize, for guessing what they are. Go on. Come on.
Ping pong.
Ping
Well
pong.
done, Gaynor. Ping pong. And the other two were poetry and painting, all of which came through the Parkinson's. So wouldn't be doing any of that if it hadn't been for Parkinson's. The other thing that Paul always says, that's another lot of P's, is people. You always say that you wouldn't have met half the people that you meet. So that it does have good things going for it. I mean, if I had to choose, would I have it or not? I think I'm afraid I'd still say definitely no. but-
Definitely opt for not.
Yes. Yes, like my son used to say when we said, "Well, go and do your homework." He'd say, "Thank you for offering, but no
Yeah.
thanks."
Yeah. Well, we've also got a few clips from people who are really inspirational parkies. Mark, let's introduce. You can you
Hang on,
introduce?
hang on.
Oh.
Rory, you haven't given us your reason. to
Oh,
be
that's
cheerful.
true. My reason to be
Yeah.
cheerful.
Is it to do with Sophie at all?
Well, my reason for being cheerful is that somehow, despite being retired, I'm busier than ever. In the last 3 years, I've written 2 books and been involved in an award-winning podcast. I don't know if you've heard of that. And I'm not sure that I would have done. Yeah, I'm not sure I'd have done that without Parkinson's. And it's supposed to create apathy. I've found the opposite in a way. Maybe it's the support of you wonderful people, but I'm feeling pretty perky.
But
As
it is
Christmas
odd,
approaches.
isn't it, that? Because, I mean, whilst I agree, I certainly wouldn't want Parkinson's, it has broadened my life extraordinarily as well as contracted.
It's quite a fascinating subject, which
Yeah.
I'm learning quite a lot about too.
And that's what actually we do need to encourage people to go out and do the same, don't we? Because your instant reaction when you're diagnosed is shit. I'm going to keep myself
Hide under the bed.
inside,
Yeah.
hide
Yeah.
under
It
the
is.
bed.
One of the
Yeah.
questions,
Yeah.
I used to have a question and answer sort of session in my show, and the most extraordinary question I was ever asked was, if you could have another incurable illness, what would it be? So this one isn't quite enough to be going.
Is that as well as or instead of?
as well as? I